This episode of the Irish Dance Podcast is being brought to you by Dunleavy Boyle Bremer Academy, inviting you to the New England Autumn Feis and Grade Exams, September 22nd and 23rd in Boston. This two-day event features grade exams up to grade 12, music competitions, an Irish soda bread bake-off, a second chance prelim competition, a charity dance-off with proceeds to benefit the Fighting Sullivans, a charity dedicated to Claire Sullivan TCRG's battle with cancer, and of course a North American Feis Commission approved championship. This is the 8th annual Feis, featuring a diverse panel of adjudicators, renowned musicians and competitors from all over the Irish dancing world. Dunleavy Boyle Bremer Academy looks forward to seeing you in beautiful New England this September. For more information, please go to southshoreirishdance.com. My name is Martin Percival, and you are listening to the Irish Dance Podcast, folk dance to phenomenon and beyond. Hi everyone, I'd like to introduce today's guest. She's a dancer and performer and Associate Artistic Director with the Trinity Dance Company. Please welcome CHELSEAHOY. Hi Chelsea.
Hi, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
Good.
Well, let's just dive straight in. Before we start talking about Trinity, which I know is your passion at the moment, can we just get started in, where you started your dance career?
Yeah, so I grew up dancing in Denver, Colorado, for the Wick School of Irish Dance. So I started dancing at the age of 6, and then I continued my entire competitive career with Lynn Wick and Maureen Shea.
Yes, and you did very well with them. They're great teachers.
Yes, they are.
Yeah, you had quite a successful competitive career, right?
I did. I won the Western Regionals 2 times, and I went to the Worlds every year that I was competing. But it was really, dance was my anchor growing up. So I loved competing, I loved performing, but I mostly just loved being in the studio. And we had a lot of good laughs, and I definitely owe a lot to those teachers. They
absolutely, and some great rhythm.
Yes, that's a big comment out here in Chicago, is where does that rhythm come from? And
yeah, absolutely. Yes, I remember seeing you as a youngster dancing. So it's great to be talking to you. So how was competition for you? Did you enjoy that scene?
I did. I enjoyed the skills that it taught me. So I enjoyed really applying myself to the detail. I'm a pretty meticulous, detail-oriented person. So being able to focus on a specific bar of music and really dive into that was personally something that just really kind of fueled me. I also ran cross-country and track, but I wouldn't say I was a super competitive person. I mostly just loved to dance. So there was a lot of things about competitive Irish dance that I also didn't enjoy, and I've seen kind of from afar now that I'm out of the competitive scene how competitive Irish dancing has changed and shifted and is kind of losing the essence of what Irish dancing is all about.
Interesting. We'll get back to that in a sec. How was the cross country and track? How did that help with your Irish dance training?
It actually didn't help.
That's honest.
Yeah, stamina became an issue in high school when I was running cross country. So running 5 miles after school, and then I would go straight to dance. But track seemed to be a better fit because it was using the same fast twitch muscles as Irish dancing. But I loved the camaraderie and the team aspect of those sports, and it really was a big part of my high school career.
Yeah. I've noticed there's a bit of a crossover sometimes of track and Irish dance, which is great. So, okay, let's talk about the competition scene. What is it that you don't like about what's happening with this competition scene at the moment?
I've seen a trend where Irish dance competitions are becoming more about the looks and less about the actual dancing. And I'm also a dance teacher now, so I'm in tune with competition in that sense. But I just noticed that the essence of Irish dancing and loving to Irish dance can often be overshadowed by the desire to win, or the desire to have the new dress or the new wig, or feeling bad because someone has a better dress than you. And I think the images that are projected to young dancers are just that they are chasing something that isn't always the most substance thing. So
yeah, that we could probably speak like that could be like a society in general, really, at the moment, with social media and that kind of thing, and people having their highlight reel, on social media. Yeah, it's a tough world for kids to be in, definitely. So sorry, I should have introduced you as a teacher. I didn't realise that you were a teacher also. So congratulations on that.
I just teach a couple classes here and there.
Yeah. That's good though. It's lovely to see. It's lovely to see anybody continue the tradition. So, we'll talk about Trinity in a minute. I just want to touch a little bit more on the competitive side of things. So, what do you have any suggestions of how, as a community, we can change the focus?
Yeah. I've been given the opportunity through the Trinity Irish Dance Company to really have a forum to speak up about substance versus spectacle and putting the emphasis on the tradition of Irish dance. And so I have this forum to really try and change the dialogue within our art form on a pretty large scale through the performing arts. But I think anybody can join that community and find their own voice, especially in the competitive world. It's really important. And I see teachers and adjudicators, musicians, and older dancers really as the leaders. And I think if they all look to a beginner who's just beginning their first Irish dance class and try and take some of their joy and their intention for being in the dance studio, and then mimic that, then that's what that kid is going to follow. But I think before anybody changes anything, there has to be a certain awareness about what they're trying to change and what message is being seen. And there's a greater problem with Irish dancing that for the world outside of Irish dancing, Irish dance is seen as something that could be silly or trite, or it's something that you do in the bars on St. Patrick's Day. But that's a lot in part due to the media that is out there about Irish dancing. So I think it's just up to communities and teachers to really scale back and ask themselves why they're doing what they're doing, and how they're going to best carry the legacy of Irish dance forward for all the future generations.
Yeah, that's a really interesting point. I have had a lot of conversations regarding media around Irish dance and how we don't create the narrative, we just follow the story, and it is difficult. I do think that there are teachers and adjudicators out there who would like to change or at least have a different dialogue and have a different narrative happening. But I'm not going to tar everyone with the same brush. But it's just I think we just follow a lot of what's been happening before us. So and it seems to some people, it seems to be that the competitive scene is perhaps like a juggernaut that can't be stopped. But I especially agree with you in the fact that the media surrounding Irish dance and the Irish dance community just it can be viewed as we're a bit of a joke, really, at times. So, and that's really unfortunate because there are some very, very talented people involved in our community, which you've probably had some opportunity to work with a lot of talented people.
Yes, I've been very grateful. But yeah, on that note, I think in order to, you kind of have to put your neck out there to be the person that doesn't follow. So it requires a lot of bravery, and it requires you to really believe in what you're doing. But like you said, there are a lot of people who probably feel the same way. So if someone will lead the way,
that should be you. Is that you, Chelsea?
I think I'm trying to make it.
I know you are. So you're doing a phenomenal job. I really admire what is happening with the Trinity Irish Dance Company. So do you want to talk a little bit about how did you get involved with Trinity to start with?
Yeah, so when I was 8 years old, I went to see a Trinity Irish Dance Company show in Beaver Creek, Colorado. My aunt took my sister and I up to the mountains to see a show. My teacher from the Wick School, Maureen Shea, had been a former TIDC member.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
So she was there at the show, and I remember it really vividly. I remember exactly where we were sitting. I remember being in awe of all the women on stage. And then we got to go backstage after the show and meet some of the dancers. And my aunt was always telling my sister we were someday going to end up in the Trinity Irish Dance Company. And it was just something that was in the back of my head, but I never really thought to pursue. And when I finished high school in Denver, I wrapped up my competitive career. I knew that I definitely loved to dance, but I didn't want to continue competing when I moved to college.
You hung up the wig?
Yeah, hung up the wig for sure. Put away the tanner, hung up the wig. And then I moved to Chicago for college. So I came out here and went to Loyola University Chicago. And then I got connected with Mark Howard, who's the founder of the Trinity Irish Dance Company and the artistic director. And so I actually met him at a fesh. I was visiting Linan and some other people from Denver who were out here. And I just got connected with him. And Linan said, if you ever need someone for one of your performances, Chelsea's a great rat-a-tat-tatter.
That sounds like Linan, yeah.
And so then I wasn't really looking for it, but it was definitely just worlds collided, and I started hearing more about the Trinity Irish Dance Company and their mission, and I was really kind of at the beginning of a resurgence of the company, which I will talk about in a little bit. But I auditioned, I got to know Mark, I got to know some of the dancers, and then I went on my first tour of Japan the summer of 2014. So that was my entree point to the Trinity Irish Dance Company. And since then, it's really become at the center of what I'm passionate about. And I've become the associate artistic director, which is a huge honor to carry on that legacy.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Isn't it lovely how Irish dance always finds its way back to you?
Yeah, you can't run away for long.
Once it's in the blood, that's it. But the company has been around for quite some time, right?
Yeah, so the company was founded in 1990. And Mark founded the Trinity Academy of Irish Dance, which is his for-profit Irish dancing school that continues to flourish here in Wisconsin and Chicago. He founded that in 1982, and then they won the first world team title for the U.S. They quickly rose to a lot of competitive success, and through that, they gained a lot of media exposure. So the Trinity Irish dancers got a call from Johnny Carson. They were on The Tonight Show a handful of times. They were on Good Morning America. And that outlet led Mark to start to evolve his choreography from the competitive stage to the performing arts. So Irish dance seen through the performing arts didn't exist at that time. So Mark kind of backed into the performing arts and founded the Trinity Irish Dance Company in 1990. So it shares a name, it shares a founder, it shares a spirit, but it is a separate organization.
Absolutely, absolutely. So fast forward to your involvement then with it, because the Trinity Irish Dance Company has been has been going around for a long time, and it's been very very successful, and also has produced some amazing choreography. So when you got involved then, how you said there was a resurgence? Speak to that a little bit.
Yeah, so as you said, the company has been around since 1990, but in the past couple of years, there's been a sort of a revitalization of passion for what we're doing. So Mark has continued choreographing the entire time, but the spirit of it and the level at which they were creating new work and performing never went away, but it died down for a few years. So about 5-6 years ago almost now, when I joined, there was a nucleus of dancers that really sparked our interest in this legacy and the body of work that existed. And Mark was revitalized and re-inspired by us, so it was kind of a give and take, but we've kind of have been rebuilding the company that already existed, but we're rebranding it a little bit, and we're carrying on that legacy, but we're really making it our own. And we just signed with one of the top New York agencies, Selby Artist Management. So we just kicked off our 2018-19 season at the Saratoga Performing Arts Center. But we're remodeling it to make it what we want, and we really think now is the time for us to use this art form and the platform that we have for good, and to change the dialogue within our art form as well as within the performing arts. Absolutely brilliant.
So standing on the shoulders of all the work that Mark put in at the beginning of the company, so it's had kind of a refresh, a little bit of a renovation, a makeover.
Yes, exactly.
That's fantastic. This is exciting news about the agency, though. I think that's phenomenal. I'm really excited to hear what's going to be happening with the company, because of course I think that the more Irish dancers out there, the better it is for all of us, especially good Irish dance. And Trinity definitely does that. I love what is happening with the marketing. I love the mission. I love all the visuals that are coming out from the company at the moment. So congratulations on all of that. You've got one fan here at least in me. So
heard somewhere.
But it is, you do, like with the company, I would imagine you have a huge fan base that you can speak to now. Which has grown up over a generation, which is lovely. So, what is you've launched the 2018-19 season? What does that look like?
So the model that we're following is we're going to tour about 7 or 8 weekends throughout the academic school year in North America, and so this season we have 2 really exciting home season performances in Milwaukee, which is coming up at the end of September, and at Chicago's historic Auditorium Theater. That's in February. But this season will also take us to Texas. We'll be at Princeton's McCarter Theater in April, Long Beach, Santa Rosa, California, and St. Joseph, Minnesota.
Absolutely brilliant. Yeah.
Yeah, so we tour throughout the school year in performing arts venues around the country, and then in the summers is when we do our international tours. We just came off of a 3-week tour of Japan, and we're hoping to be heading to Ireland or England, or a combination of both, either next summer or the following summer.
Brilliant. I saw some of the the Facebook posts behind the scenes and side stage of the Japan stuff. Absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. Congratulations on all of that. So with this model then, because it's, where do your dancers come from the academic world?
Yeah, so we have 20 dancers that we tour with. We have a roster right now of about 23 or 24. And something that makes the Trinity Irish Dance Company different than a commercial show or production is that we maintain the performing arts as part of our lifestyle. So we're performing and creating at a very high level, but we're also pursuing other careers. So our dancers are full-time students. They're in grad school, college, or they're post-college. They have full-time jobs. So TIDC really allows a space for dancers to have a forum of creativity to continue their love for Irish dance, as well as continuing their love for all the other things in their lives.
Yeah, that's great. I really like that, because there's not a huge amount of professional opportunities for Irish dancers, and especially on a part-time basis, you know. I think that's fantastic. So what is the you know, like the next step then? You've got your 2018-19 season, and then you'll be heading to England, Ireland, hopefully next summer or the year after that. Are there any grand plans with this agency? We like the model that we've kind of found our way to, which allows dancers to do all those things that I just mentioned. But we're really trying to change the dialogue, as I said, within our art form, within the performing arts, through multimedia. So we love performing, but really the heart of what we do is creating new work that's pushing the boundaries of Irish dance while remaining rooted in the tradition. So we always say, if we had nothing else, we could create a new dance piece on the sidewalk. Yeah, absolutely.
We have a lot of plans for the new work that we're looking forward to creating in the next couple years. We create pieces choreographed by Mark, and Mark's actually in a mentoring stage right now. So he has had the dance company for a long time, and now he's really interested in passing on this certain taste level and this very specific style known as progressive Irish dance, which is something that he coined. He's interested in passing that on to me and to the other artistic associates and to all of the dancers. So the dancers are really involved in the creative process of any new work. And so Michelle Durance is kind of the biggest thing in tap right now. She's reinventing tap. She's out of New York. She's creating incredible work. So she's on our same roster with our new agency. So we're looking to collaborate with her and have her set a piece on TIDC in the coming year. So that's something that's really exciting and would be an incredible blend of our art forms. And we're really excited to work with someone of her ilk.
Yeah, that sounds amazing. I'd love to be a fly on the wall when that's being created. Yeah. Do you plan to have any of this filmed? I mean, the creation process. Yeah,
we actually are having our upcoming show filmed, the entire show.
Oh, good, great. Yeah.
So a big part of what we want to do is share our work through multimedia. And obviously you just need the resources to do that. Yes. So as a nonprofit dance company that's rebuilding, we have the legacy, we have the work, we have the people, but not necessarily always have the resources. And so we're excited to have the opportunity to film our entire performance, to start to share that with the world. And then when we're in creative process, we have people that capture that. So we just created a new piece this past summer. It was choreographed by myself, Mark Howard, and Michael Gardner, who flew in to create with us this past summer. And so we have snippets of that, and so we're piecing them together to share it in small pieces with the world. Yeah.
No, I think if I can speak to any kind of fan of Irish dance, I would say that once people feel like they're involved in the journey, there's a lot more buy-in. So, but speak to the non-profit thing is probably quite frustrating at times in terms of the resources, right?
It can be. I think the arts in general have changed a lot. And so we're not fighting an uncommon battle. Definitely.
Right. In this particular climate at the moment, yes.
Yeah. But we are really grateful to do something that is so unique, and there is no other Trinity Irish dance company.
No.
There is no performing arts Irish American contemporary company. So it's really about getting in front of people and getting in front of the right people, and then, as you say, involving them in our journey. And a huge part of what we do, on top of performing and changing the dialogue through multimedia, is outreach. So we really go out of our way to connect with communities wherever we're touring, and then as well in Chicago and Milwaukee.
Yeah, is that part of your as part of the nonprofit mission is for the outreach? Yeah.
Yeah. So we, the Trinity Irish Dance Company, has always made a point to empower their audiences. And one small way that we do that is to invite local Irish dancers to join us on stage wherever we tour. So we were just in Saratoga, and 2 7, maybe 8-year-olds joined us up on stage for 16 bars of a reel.
Excellent.
Yeah. And so empowering through movement, and then adding the cultural history and the richness of Irish tradition is really impactful.
Yeah, it sounds it. It's absolutely fantastic. In terms of when you're creating pieces, are there any other choreographers or any other movement specialists that you use, or does it just come from experience?
We bring in guest artists from all different types of dance forms, and that's something that Mark has always done, and which has really shaped TIDC's body of work to diversify it and figure out how to fuse body percussion or fuse contemporary movement with staying rooted in Irish step dance. So we work with guest artists quite frequently, but we found that when guest choreographers work with us, it really becomes a collaboration.
Yeah, I think it has to. Yeah,
it has to, because Irish dance is it's
so unique. Yeah. Absolutely. I think that's brilliant. One thread of conversation I seem to be having with people is when Irish dancers try and do other forms of Irish dance. I don't know if we have a perfectionist streak within us, but we want to be able to do it properly or not at all. So it's always good to have some masters teaching us, and so that you can master it, to a level that you feel comfortable, using.
Right. Yeah. Mark always says he likes to bring people in the room who are better at what they do than he is.
Yeah. No. And that's absolutely, yeah. It's about who you surround yourself with, right? Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
No, that's fantastic. So you must be learning a huge amount. It is quite the legacy that is being continued, and that's absolutely brilliant. I'm sure you have quite the alumni as well, right?
Yes, we do. We are connected with the founding company members, which is something that's really special, and we're really excited to be doing home season performances, so they can share that with us. But the work that they did and the paths that they paved that really didn't exist at that time, it's pretty incredible to follow in those footsteps. And we carry some of that work with us. So there's a couple classic pieces, one of which is Johnny. which began with that performance on the Johnny Carson show, and it's evolved since then. But that's really a classic TIDC piece, which the style of that was the impetus for Riverdance and for commercial shows.
Yeah. And gives me goosebumps. That's fantastic. I love that. I love it. Yeah.
Yeah. So when that Johnny music comes on, you can ask a lot of our company members, "What's your favorite piece?" It's most often it's not the new stuff; it's Johnny.
Yeah. Well, they have a connection. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Oh no, that's absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. So, what was I gonna? So what do you think how long are you going to be involved with the company? I mean, for the foreseeable future, or is it, obviously you're out of school now, right?
Yeah. I graduated, 2 years ago, I guess.
Right.
The old lady.
Don't even go there.
I'm a dancer at heart, and so I can't really imagine my life without dance in any way. But taking on this recent role of associate artistic director it's a huge honor, and it's something that came over time, and I'm continuing to learn from Mark. And I'm really have been at the heart of this resurgence of the company, and it's something I care about on so many levels within Irish dance, but also the performing arts, and just also the current climate. The arts and dance specifically are incredibly needed, and I'm grateful to be leading that, and for the foreseeable future, I'm not going anywhere. Good.
That's what I like to hear. I do agree with you. I think the more we can show our art, the better, especially right now. Well, great. Thank you so much. Is there anything else that you would like to talk about before we do our little rapid fire section?
Let's see. Well, one more thing. A critical part of our mission, which has always been there, but has been revitalized in a new way, which you may have seen on multimedia, is our emphasis on female empowerment. So the Trinity Irish Dance Company has always been primarily a female company. We tour with 18 females and 2 males. But a big part of what we do is use intentional choreography, costuming, and casting to celebrate the strength of our women. So it's the women that bring the thunder. We put our males and females on equal footing. And it's really an incredible forum to be able to give that message through your art form, and have young girls sitting in the audience or watching a video online. And so we're really taking a stance against the objectification of women that occurs in the arts, and just in society.
Yeah. I think that's a phenomenal and very, very important message to give. I believe, and I might be naive in this thought, that as Irish dancers, males and females have pretty much always been on equal footing, because the males have always been outnumbered by females. It's to me, it's never been an issue that women can't do the same thing that men can do. Do you know what I mean? So I believe in our community, it's very much, women are very much empowered. So I would, obviously it needs to be worldwide, that message. Yeah. So yeah, absolutely brilliant. I admire that 100%. Okay, so let's get on to the rapid fire section. So this is Chelsea in a nutshell.
Oh, boy.
Okay, you ready? What's your favorite food?
Quinoa.
With anything in particular?
Avocado and an egg.
That's very healthy. River dance or Lord of the Dance?
River dance.
What's the best?
Trinity Irish Dance Company.
Yes, of course. Good answer. Best piece of advice you've ever been given?
Ooh. To do what you love and to love what you do.
Brilliant. Is there a book that you've read that has changed your life?
I recently read Big Magic by Elizabeth Gilbert.
Oh, yeah.
Have you read that?
No, but I like Elizabeth Gilbert, yeah.
It's a great read. It's all about creativity. And
I will read it now.
Magic that goes on inside of our brains. Yeah.
Yes, I will. I'm going to order it now. Pineapple on pizza, yes or no?
Yes.
Good girl. Okay, in terms of your individual dancing, what would you categorize as a success, and what would you categorize as challenges, in your own maybe technique or style or whatever?
Well, challenges. This has been a thing for a long time, and Mark still talks about it. I sink in my knees because I love being loud to the point where I want to be closer to the ground.
Yes, we call it sitting.
Yes, sitting. Yeah, that is me. Success. I think in a lot of ways, I'm just now becoming the dancer that I could have always been, or I've been projected to be. And that's come through exposure to all different forms of dance, different choreographers moving in a new way. And so being able to open up has allowed my Irish dancing to change. And I've had people tell me I look even like a different dancer than I used.
Oh, I mean, you were always a beautiful dancer anyway, but that's really beautiful that you're just coming into your own. I think that's lovely. It's absolutely lovely. For some people, they think that once you've finished competing, that's it. Irish dancing is over and done with. But you are here to say that is not the case.
It's not the case. To break out.
And finally, then, is there a piece of advice that you would give to aspiring Irish dancers, be it competitively or professionally? What are your sage words?
The advice I would give is to really reflect on the legacy that every Irish dancer carries with them. Irish dance was born out of a struggle in Ireland. It's always been an art form that brings people together. And as we talked about earlier, the competitive scene can almost become the contrary to that and really become something that divides people. So I inspire, or I advise Irish dancers.
You do inspire.
I advise Irish dancers to really dig into what Irish dance means for them personally, but how they can use it to elevate the people around them. Because it really is, it's a gift, and you'll notice people can see any types of dance, but when they see Irish dancers, they light up in a completely different way. And if we're not using that to our fullest potential, I think we're missing a huge opportunity. Oh,
Chelsea, that's absolutely beautiful. Thank you. What gorgeous words. Gorgeous. You're going to make me cry. That's lovely. Okay, so we'll leave the interview there, but I just wanted to say thank you very, very much for this. I really do appreciate it.
Thank you.
I hope you enjoyed today's episode of the Irish Dance Podcast. If you haven't already, please go to iTunes or your favourite podcast app and subscribe to our podcast. That would be great. And if you are on iTunes, if you wouldn't mind please leaving a review, that would be awesome. Thank you very much. Please visit our website at theirishdancepodcast.com. There's also a survey there where you can fill in what you think about this show so far. So look forward to your feedback and have a great day. Bye-bye.